Namaste to all my dear and hardworking students. I welcome you all in Antivites channel. So today's plan of presentation contains introduction, discovery of the neutron, properties of the neutron, and importance of the neutron. In the year 1925, Rutherford discovered the proton. And this was the first and famous reaction in which the proton was discovered. In this reaction, nitrogen air was bombarded with alpha particles, which results in the isotopic oxygen, less abundant in nature, and a proton. This famous reaction gave the birth to a proton. This was the first nuclear reaction in the history of nuclear physics. And we know that till 1932, or we can say before 1932, electrons were considered the constituents of the nucleus. Half of the electrons reside inside the nucleus and rest of them revolves around the nucleus. This theory was called electron-proton theory. And we have done earlier the reasons behind the failure of electron-proton theory. Main reasons were: first one was wave mechanical consideration, second was nuclear spin, third nuclear magnetic moment, fourth was finite size of electron, fifth one wavelength, sixth beta decay, seventh Compton wavelength, and last electron-neutrino pairs. All these concepts negated the existence of electrons inside the nucleus. We know it. As we know that there is one proton and one electron in the hydrogen atom. According to Neil Bohr, this electron revolves around the proton in fixed orbits, like this animation. Now, mass of hydrogen atom is 1 unit, which is the mass of the proton only, as the mass of electron is too small and can be ignored. So mass of hydrogen atom is equal to mass of proton, which is taken as 1 unit. There is no neutron present inside the nucleus of the hydrogen atom. This is only atom where there is no neutron inside the nucleus. Now, if we extend the same argument to the helium atom, then the mass of helium atom must be 2 units. Then the mass of helium atom must be 2 units. That is, mass of helium should be equal to 2 times mass of hydrogen atom, because inside helium atom there are 2 protons and inside hydrogen atom there is 1 proton. So mass of helium should be equal to 2 times mass of hydrogen atom. But mass should be equal. But when the mass of helium was calculated experimentally, it comes out to be 4. This was experimental observation. Experimentally, mass of helium was found to be 4. It is not 2 units, but 4 units. Quite strange. It was contrary to our expectation. What were our expectation? We expect it to 2 units, but found to be 4 units experimentally. Something was missing. Now, if we place 2 more hydrogen atom, now there are 4 hydrogen atom, then mass of helium becomes equal to the mass of those 4 hydrogen atoms. So it was quite astonishing for the scientific community. This raised the doubts of the researchers. They thought that there is something different inside the nucleus. So determination of the mass of the helium atom laid the foundation of another experiment. In the year 1930, Bothe and Becker, 2 scientists, set up an experiment. The experimental setup is shown in this diagram. In this experiment, polonium was taken as alpha particle source. When the beryllium was bombarded with alpha particle, the gamma radiations were emitted. Alpha particle emitted from polonium, and when beryllium was bombarded with these alpha particles, gamma radiations were emitted. These gamma radiations were bombarded on paraffin. An paraffin. Now, what is paraffin? Paraffin is nothing but a wax, which is a rich source of hydrogen atom. And hydrogen atom, we know that Rutherford called hydrogen atom as a proton. So we can say that paraffin is wax which is a rich source of proton. And when these gamma radiations incident on paraffin, protons were ejected out, which were detected experimentally in ionization chamber. Everything is all right, is it? No. Why? Because if the protons were bombarded in the ionization chamber, observed in the ionization chamber, then the gamma radiations must have huge amount of energy. What is the order of that energy? That energy should be equal to 16 mega electron volt. Only that amount of energy can cause the ejection of proton from the paraffin or wax. But gamma radiations cannot produce such huge amount of energy. 16 mega electron volt of energy cannot be produced by gamma radiations. In other words, the radiations emitted from the beryllium can never be gamma radiations. Bothe and Becker named it gamma radiations. But gamma radiations cannot produce huge amount of energy of the order of 16 mega electron volt. Only this amount of energy can eject the protons from paraffin. So something was again missing. Then, in the year 1932, James Chadwick, the hero of this story, set up an experiment which was quite similar to the earlier one. He observed that when beryllium is bombarded with alpha particles which are emitted from polonium, When beryllium is bombarded with alpha particles, the very high penetrating and neutral particles are ejected. He observed this thing. Very high penetrating and neutral particles are ejected out. And he also observed that the mass of those particles was approximately equal to the mass of the proton. But they are neutral and highly penetrating. And more interesting thing was, he was successful in determining the momentum and energy of those neutral particles. When he determined the energy of those neutral particles, the energy was found to be 16 mega electron volt. And this much energy is required to the ejection of the protons from the paraffin. And he named these neutral radiations or particles as a neutrons. Neutral particle, neutrons. The neutral particles with such high amount of energy, when bombarded on the paraffin, produces the detectable protons. And he tested his observation by replacing the wax with different metals. But the same results were found every time. Then he finally concluded that these neutral particles are not gamma radiations as observed by Bothe and Becker, but he named these particles as neutron. For this path-breaking discovery, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1935 for the discovery of neutrons. And this is the famous reaction that led to the discovery of the neutrons. Helium is bombarded on the beryllium, which produces radioactive carbon. It has short lifetime and get a stable carbon atom. Along with it, neutron is emitted. It's very famous nuclear reactions which led to the discovery of the neutron. Now let's discuss few properties of neutrons. First and foremost property, we know it, that inside the nucleus, neutron exists inside the nucleus. That is, it is a constituent of the nucleus. Second one is, it is a neutral entity. Its charge is zero, neither positive nor negative. Proton is positively charged. It is neutral, no charge. And its spin is half. This is similar to the electron and proton's spin. That is, it is also a fermion. It is also a fermion having half integral spin. In its mass is equal to mass of the proton, nearly equal to the mass of the proton, little bit heavier than mass of the proton, and it is equal to 1.008665 atomic mass unit. Then it is stable inside the nucleus. Because it is neutral, so it do not interact with the surrounding particles. When it passes through a medium, do not interact with the particles. So it has very low ionizing power. Because it do not interact with the surrounding particle, it do not lose its energy in the collisions. In other words, it has very high penetrating power. Very high penetrating power. And lastly, its magnetic moment. Nuclear magnetic moment is negative. This thing you have to remember. And its value is equal to minus 1.935. Usually we think that its magnetic moment is positive, either positive or zero. No, it is negative. And outside the nucleus, neutron is unstable and its half-life period is about only 12 minutes. It decays as, we know this reaction. Neutron is decayed to a proton, and along with it, the pair of electron and antineutron is emitted. Now, what is the importance of this path-breaking discovery? So, neutrons are used to probe nuclear structure, and it also led to the discovery of many new radioactive elements. It just happened only after 2 years of its discovery. In 1934, scientists were able to discover many new radioactive elements by the use of neutron. And second one is most important. It led to the fission of uranium atom just after 4 or 6 years. And we know it that fission of uranium atom is a very important reaction which is called nuclear fission, that led to the creation of nuclear power plants and atom bombs by the end of World War II. And last and third important property is that neutron is capable of producing nuclear transformations. So students, this was all about the discovery of the neutron. Now we can conclude that there are two types of particles inside the nucleus. First one is proton and second one is none but neutron. So protons and neutrons are two members of the nucleus, and they are bonded in the nucleus by the nature's strongest force, which is called strong or nuclear force. Strongest force. Neutrons and protons are collectively called nucleons. Nucleons mean particles of the nucleus. And this is known as neutron-proton theory. In next video, I will explain the various reasons that support the existence of the neutrons inside the nucleus. So thanks a lot for watching and listening. Thank you. Thank you very much.